This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. It's December the 30th, 2014, and the title of this video is called NYPD Demoralized by the Constitution via Bill de Blasio. NYPD demoralized by the Constitution via de Blasio. You know, the NYPD that we can see is majority Caucasian, and they're a bunch of Italian and Irish immigrants who feel as though it's their right to pass this on to their sons. They came here as gangsters at first, and then they decided to be gangsters in a blue uniform with a gun to control other populations. The Irish and the Italian became more cooperative with each other because they decided they wanted to have the blue uniforms and the guns and be gangsters and control the constitutional niggas, see, and control the country and control whatever city that they was in. So they transferred their gangsterism and put blue uniforms on, and then put a gun, which they don't have Second Amendment rights. As strange as it seems, they don't have Second Amendment rights because they're not constitutional citizens. They're immigrants, okay? Immigrants don't have guns or military rights. F what you heard in your MK Ultra and your sucking the phallus of Satan and all his glory that he done bombarded in your peon brain for you to absorb and call truth, okay? Now, the Constitution should not be stop and frisk. So these immigrants want to stop and frisk the constitutional citizens all the time, majority black males, stop and frisk. So you got to keep on checking the Constitution, looking in the Constitution pockets, checking underneath their arms and their pocket, making sure the Constitution don't have nothing you as the corporate doctrine immigrants, Satan gangsters don't approve of, okay? So the Constitution has to be checked. It's the same thing when constitutional citizens have to go redo their Section 8 and their welfare and their stuff like that. It's like a constant surveillance, a constant checking of the Constitution. The Constitution is the Constitution. It doesn't need checking. It doesn't need a constant going over every year or every 2 years. The Constitution is the Constitution, okay? But anyway, that's their system of the synagogue of Satan they set up to control the Constitution. If you take Section 8 out to another area, and I did it, they don't do as many inspections because in white areas, they have no need to control the corporate doctrines. But they want to keep blacks under mind control as they steal and embezzle all their wealth and give them cracker dust. So they do a whole lot more inspections on them. The phone bills is higher, the gas bills is higher. And this is why you got to learn to move around to understand what type of society you're living in and how the rules change when you're living in different zip codes. But anyway, the New York Police Department is demoralized by the Constitution because Bill de Blasio said it was unconstitutional to stop and frisk. And this goes back to that. So they demoralized that they don't have full trampling rights on the Constitution. It hurts them. Now let's look up the word demoralized. Demoralized, to undermine the confidence or morale of, to dishearten, to put into disorder, to confuse, to debase the morals of. Okay, so these cops have been turning their backs, disrespecting the mayor who is in authority, and I might say constitutional authority, because he has blood in the Constitution. He has children with a constitutional citizen. And by that fact, he has constitutional authority and right to protect his children and wife who are of constitutionality. He is given the power to protect his blood that's in the Constitution. So they're turning their back on the Constitution, and they don't like the Constitution getting in their immigrant way. because they would like to have full trampling rights. And if you hurt their feelings by interfering with their full trampling rights, you demoralize the whole police force. Well, I'm going to tell you something. All of them turning their back, all of them disrespecting the mayor and the constitutionality. In 2014, we should look back and all their pensions should be cut. All their pensions, they should be cut. They shouldn't be rewarded. Who's giving them money anyway? Rewarding them with extra equipment or rewarding them with this. These are nothing but criminals in uniforms. And why do you need so much policing anyway in New York? Why? Because the polls, when they say we're going to take the polls, we're going to take the majority of trampling immigrants. So we need a lot of lice protectors, Pol-lice, to protect the polls of all those who vote and run to the booths in their dung contracts, in their immigrant contracts, to put consent foreigners in and consenting thieves and embezzlers in. And so we got to take a polls, and so we got to have the Pol-lice, the police in to protect all the polls that's trampling the black constitutional citizens like Black Friday, okay? So we got to look at this, and their pensions should be cut. They should be fired. The majority of them is criminals in uniform, and they're going to be arrested one way or another. They're going to find themselves arrested for treason on this soil. Treason. Now, Bill de Blasio, no one can tell him what to do, but I can tell you this, at this point, he'll never satisfy him. He'll never satisfy him, because if you try to satisfy the synagogue of Satan, you're going to come up short. He has a well that you can't satisfy. So you might as well stick to your guns, stand up for the Constitution and your blood in the Constitution, and don't buckle under these gangsters. These gangsters who want to rule by gangsterism and blue uniforms, because that's all they is, generational gangsters now. We can see what they are, who want to surveillance, harass, murder, trample the Constitution. They want no parts of the real America. They want parts of the global trampling and Satan's agenda. And before I go, I just want you to know I got a link below, and the link is of this constitutional black man who's ready to make a few dollars, telling de Blasio he should apologize for upholding the Constitution. This is why Jesus Christ said, let no man deceive you that he is Christ. Let no man deceive you that he is Christ. Here you got a black man telling the mayor that he should apologize for trying to uphold the constitutionality, which means the reason why black men are under such scrutiny right now is because of black men just like him, willing to fight their own constitutionality for a popular opinion or for a dollar.